In this video, I would like to talk about how can you rewrite job descriptions? How can you really do it, right? What kind of tools can you use? So let's look first at some of the concerns, like something I hear recruiters sometimes say. They say, hey, but it's already great. It serves the purpose. Or they say, hey, but we cannot communicate anything more about the team or about the company or about the location. But the way I like to look at it is usually through these lenses of how might we. So there is this method design sprint that helps teams to innovate and to have this say open mind. So they encourage to start every sentence during certain sessions in the design sprint with this phrase, how might we? So instead of like, this will not work, they suggest to start with how might we make it work? How might we attract more developers? How might we communicate? So I like to also embrace this, and this is also how I like to look at the different assets we have when we are recruiting. So we start with the job description, right? So there is this internal job description, something that we may receive from a hiring manager. I would say that HR should stay precisely where it's supposed to be, in a drawer, maybe in some Confluence or some other knowledge base, in an internal HR department, because a job description describes the job. But the question is not for you as a recruiter, is not to describe a job, but to attract the right candidate, right? So if you say web backend development, then lots of developers already know what they will be working on, right? You don't have to describe as a backend developer you will be writing software code that interacts with the database. But this is what I so often see in job descriptions. So I like to look at the job description, job ad, and a pitch, some teaser, as three different assets that help us to recruit. So the very first one, the job description, is usually something we receive from a hiring manager. You may eventually throw it away, and I suggest you never use it again, because this is not attractive at all. Instead, you can use it to build your own job ad. So I start with a question like this one: what's interesting about the company? I like to ask a hiring manager, what is interesting about your team? What is your tech stack? What kind of technologies do they use? What does the tech stack consist of? All right, so these are a few questions. And then you can ask, for example, here, how might I mention something more about the team if I cannot mention their names? So you may mention something like, in the team there is a superstar who is going for conferences, etc. Right? Like, you can mention at least something. How might we mention something about the technical stack? Maybe some recent version that the company uses, etc. Right? Are they building a new project or just maintaining an existing? Okay, so you take this information and you build a job ad, and then eventually you build some pitch, some teaser, but we will also get to that. So you have seen this checklist already. I'll not go through this in depth, but again, something that should help you determine what is interesting, what is important for the developers and IT people in general, and extract it from the job description. Leave the job description as it is. Don't even bother rewriting it, and build something that is your own, something that you can show to developers, because you understand it. Often recruiters say, Michael, I don't even know what does it mean. I mean, like, why don't you ask a hiring manager? But most importantly, if it doesn't make sense to you, it is quite likely it doesn't make any sense to a developer either, because maybe you mix two different stacks to one, or maybe you just talk about projects and different, stacks or technologies. So it's really messy sometimes. So rather write something of your own that you can understand. And this is then how you can use it. I would say these guys started So started posting on social media, but not the right way yet. So the good thing is they have started already doing something a little more on social media. But if you think about what is posted and you think, is this attractive? Is this interesting? Does it get anyone's attention? Does it get attention of the right candidate? Well, most likely not, because they are just shouting out vacancy, vacancy, right? Like this is not really appealing to the architects, sub solution architects. So you can also see that there are 3 likes, 3 people who liked it, but those are mostly colleagues of the recruiter. We also see another example here. Someone was posting on a LinkedIn profile page a little better version, like, are you a full stack developer who wants to be challenged? So it is okay. I would say it could be improved by adding an image to capture attention, maybe to highlight something from the office, or maybe set the scene somehow. And also there are the first 3 lines that usually gets displayed before a user needs to click see more. But here, as you can see, they have not really utilized these 3 lines. There is just 1 line, then empty line, and then a call to action link. So this could be also improved significantly. It's on a way, but we still have to get better job here. So what could be improved is, for example, to rewrite it. And I'm coming back to our case study here. Write about what is really interesting for developers, what appeals to them. Focus on highlighting the most important at the top, because this is what they can see before they need to click see more, right? So even think and try to step into their shoes. When you are writing the post, you see the whole text at once, but they don't. They cannot see more than the first 3 lines. So you should grab their attention immediately from those first 3 lines of text. Here, a better job, because there is some image that can capture the attention. So definitely on a good way. Senior Java developer Prague, corporate product, etc. Like, it definitely can be improved. Even this text, right? The call to action, text me for more info. Maybe it's not appealing enough, because a Java developer, again, I could ask Java developer, Java is used for front-end apps, back-end apps, mobile apps. So who is a Java developer? What does the technical stack consist of? Am I a good fit or not? I would be asking as a developer. And if I don't know, then I just don't bother sending me a message. Okay, so this is how we can use Canva. Canva is a tool that allows us to build some of these images really quickly within a few minutes. I'll create a dedicated video to walk you through this process. It's really easy, and Canva is free. There is obviously a paid version, but you can start with the free one. So this is what we use also, and it's really cool. I'll show you in a next video how it works. All right. And from the job ad, we like to create a pitch. So something that you just mention to the developer next time you are on a call with him, or even when you send a message to a developer on LinkedIn in an email, right? So you can have it a little more personalized. Like, I remember you wanted to change your job and go from the corporate environment to something that embraces personal growth, and here is the startup I've got for you. Or you can say something more generic that could be posted on social media. If you are a Symfony developer and you would like to move from the corporate environment to an exciting startup, I've got a great opportunity for you. Okay, so you just come up with a few ideas like this, and every other day you can post a different version of this pitch, of this teaser, to get their attention. So with the same role, you can just alternate, and within a few days you can have 3-4 different versions of that pitch. All right, so I'll wrap it up here. I'll show you how Canva works in a different video. All right.